Right, so I'm at work right now, and I have to do this video because people are getting more and more disrespectful. And so last Thursday, I was at work, and one of my coworkers walked up and called me and another coworker basically a nigga. And so I went to go let the supervisor know, and I got a whole video about that as well, about what happened and everything like that. So I don't want to go into that right now. So I told you that I felt like it was a setup. I felt like the people that was involved in it, the supervisor that left, I said that the supervisor that left, I felt like it wasn't a coincidence that he was off and that man came up to me and said that, and to that young kid and said that. I felt like it was very staged. And so he's been off of work for 3 days. He took off for Wednesday, Thursday, and Monday, and today is Tuesday. So he came back in today, and I noticed that when he came back in, he was very kind of like aggressive. Normally he'll stop and tell me where I'm going. He didn't really say nothing. He's standing in the middle of the aisleway, got another coworker yelling my name. And so I'm almost 100% sure that, they told him and let him know what was going on. Another thing that I noticed is yesterday when I came in, the same coworker that said something about nigga, this Mexican guy, the same coworker that did that, came waltzing past me and another guy who I was working with yesterday, like trying to let me know that he's still in here. And so this is why I gotta record what I'm recording. And so then we back and forth, right? So I'm back forwarding up to today. And I'm over there working, and one of my coworkers come up to me and she said, hey, do you want to work on scrap or something with me? So I said, yes. So mind you, I'm working somewhere else right now. So before I walk off my line, I go ahead and clean up my stuff, and where I'm not leaving my part of my job that I already did onto the other coworker. So before I just walk off, I'm not gonna just leave everything that I already been doing, my job that I've been doing, and just leave it sit there. A lot of the people I work with, they don't speak English, and so I can't even really communicate with them about, hey, I'm leaving this here, and you can wrap my stuff up. So before I walk off, I proceeded to do what I felt was right, which was go ahead and finish up what I was doing really quick. Then I was going to go over there. He come walk around, right? The supervisor that has been off, he come walk around, and he said, oh, do you want something to drink like that? And I said, yeah. I said, I'm about to go over to the scrap. The one coworker came asked me that I wanted to do scrap, right? Not a supervisor, not none of that, a coworker, right? He said, oh, I don't feel like I had to come into the bathroom really quick. I don't feel like he just took off of work and that was that. I think that he took off work because it was plotted and planned, and he didn't want to be here while it was going on. And so, or to make it look like, right, to bring somebody in from the outside to do this thing. Because, of course, if it's going to be one supervisor here, they're going to replace that supervisor with another supervisor. And so what I noticed, and I said in another one of my videos, it looked very staged, very, very staged. And so he come back today, and I noticed that he got another coworker coming to me asking me stuff, right? So when he first did it, I'm kind of like, whatever, right? I ain't think too much in it. But then you got another coworker coming up to me asking me if I want to go somewhere instead of you just coming up to me saying something to me. And then he acts like he bringing a drink towards me. And like if they come around when it's really, really hot in here with the cooler, and they say he wants something to drink out of there. And so he was basically, it's still being set up. It's still being, plotted and thought out. And so he says, I said, yeah, I'll take one of those. And I said, yeah, I'm going to go over there to scrap or whatever. But basically, I was verifying, like, is he the one who wanted me to go over there? Because why we got regular workers like me coming up to me, telling me about redirecting me where I'm going? It ain't making sense. And so, that's his buddy and all these things. And so, like I said, when he got back here, he found out. And so, anyways, when I go to grab my drink, I let him know. I said, yeah, I just went on ahead and grab my little stuff. Fuck that. You need to go over there right now. When somebody comes to you and asks you and da-da-da-da-da, you need to go right now. Just leave everything. You need to fuck all that and da-da-da. What? And he said it very aggressive and yelling. He gonna say, oh, and I'm not yelling at you. It's all for a response. It's all for a response, right? They wasn't expecting for me to do that. And like I said, when you dealing with companies like this, it's a lot of smaller business. It's a lot of people that are connected to each other, right? And so it's a big bullying scheme and racism and all this type of stuff and a cult, right? A cult, that's what that is. And people feel like they can get away with stuff. And so why do I gotta feel like because I had to say something before it got out of control, that I'm being punished for it now? And so no, we're not doing that. So now we got to take this a step further. And so we got to figure out the next steps of this thing because we won't be tolerating that. One thing about it is my granddad always told me, when you go into these companies, especially when you're dealing with people who are related to people within inside the companies, and you got supervisors related to the owner and all these type of things, that you make sure you document what's going on. And see, one thing about it is, all these other grimy companies I went to, I just let live. But once you go through the same thing over and over and over again, it comes a point in your life where you gotta start changing how you handle things and do things. And so now I'm beginning to document. So he sent another coworker up to me as well again. And she just said, oh, can you go to such and such because they need somebody to feed over at that machine and such and such and such and such. It's very thought out and what it is that they're doing and how they're moving. And like I said in another one of my videos, I feel sorry for the owners because it's like we got to come after them because they can't get their workers under control and the racism in their companies up under control. And if for somebody to walk up to me and another young black kid and call us a nigga, basically, I don't give a damn, joking and not joking. Why did you pick me and this dude to do that? It was very thought out. Very, very thought out. In the last video I posted, I talked about it a little bit more into detail, so you guys have to go watch that. But I'm not playing with people in this season. I don't understand, why is it that somebody come and do something to us inside of these workplaces, something racist, something bigot, something nasty, something trifling, something very thought out, projecting and feeling away because they doing it because they got multiple people in higher places bagging them. That man didn't pick me and that young kid out of a hat to do that too. Me and another black young kid to do that too. It was a stereotype thing. And they thought that they was going to walk us out of the job, out of the company. And like I said, the supervisor, you know how people really don't want the position, and then they see that you're about to get a position, or somebody might be talking about you in a higher space, and they get wind that they like you and your work ethic. And so what they do is they begin to target you and got the mind over my dead body type of thing, or whatever. It's very, very thought out, and it's like we're going to have a blast of not controlling our emotions. Here he comes again. You come out.
Where you been?
I went to the bathroom, came here, and then went over there. They said they need me over here now.
Yeah, the feet over here.
Okay. Yep. So yep, I ended up going to the bathroom, going over there.
That's quite a while ago.
No, it wasn't a while ago. It wasn't a while ago.
It seemed like I made it all the way around.
No, that wasn't a while ago. I just went to the bathroom. You didn't say that twice to me. You see what I'm saying? The picking. You just lied. This is his second time walking up to me, telling me, oh, that was a while ago. Oh, that was a while ago. Oh, okay. That wasn't a while ago. The first time he walked, he sent another coworker, he didn't even come. And so for another coworker to come, basically was asking me if I could help them with something. They didn't say, hey, such and such a supervisor said that we're gonna switch your position, and for you to come over here. No. It was a way in the way of like they was gonna help me. He done walked around, he's stalking around me now. He done walked around me 3 or 4 times just now because like I said, he was in the involvement of that man walking up to me and that young kid calling us a nigga. Period, point blank. And like I said, I got another video on here where I'm talking about that. And y'all just heard it with your own 2 ears. You say, oh, it's been a while ago. When did you start that? I've been here like a month now. And so today is his first day back, and I guess they must have told him that, hey, such and such called her a nigga, and she got him in trouble. So being that that's his buddy, he figured he gonna come and target me now. No, you ain't. I'm gonna take you all down. I'm gonna take every last one of y'all down. Y'all just heard him just come up to me picking again. He ain't do that until I just went and told on that man and he called me and that kid a nigga. So I'll keep y'all updated and posted on what's going on. I'm not playing with nobody. I'll take this whole place down. I'm not playing. You're not gonna make me feel like I'm in the wrong because somebody came and said something derogatory out their mouth towards me and something very nasty and vulgar and something that should never ever be heard in a workplace by another race to another race. And you gonna target me? Oh, okay. We're gonna see how this work out for you, buddy. I'm the owner. He better step in. I'm gonna tell you this right now.